Okay, hi, welcome everyone. Thanks so much for coming to this session. We're covering next steps for year 2 students heading to UBC Okanagan, so Okanagan campus. So my name's Tamara Weninger, and I'm an engineering academic advisor on the Okanagan campus. So if you're here today and you are a transfer student, so you're already in post-secondary or have taken post-secondary before and coming to UBC, specifically the Okanagan campus, this session is for you. If you are here for neither of those, you're welcome to stay, but the information might not be as relevant. And there are other sessions today for Vancouver students and year 1 students as well. So we'll get right into it. What I want to cover really quickly in our session today is our second year placement, registration, transfer credits, and opportunities and next steps for applicants or admitted students. So as we jump right into it, second year placement. What is second year placement? So essentially, this is the process that we filter first year students into discipline-specific specialization. So we call them specializations, we call them disciplines, we call them programs, a whole bunch of names, but really these are the programs that you're going to be studying in. So at the Okanagan campus, we have civil, electrical, manufacturing, and mechanical. The cool thing about studying on the Okanagan campus is that your discipline is guaranteed. So everyone gets into the program of their choice, as we have no caps on our programs, which is a little bit different from the Vancouver campus. Theirs is competitive. So if you want civil, you are guaranteed to get into civil. Right now, our second year placement form is open. So if you are admitted and you've accepted your offer, then you're welcome to fill out this form now, but it basically stays open all summer, and it's a way for you to fill out the form, and we collect the data, and then we manually update your student file to show which program you're going into. So this is for students really that are going into second year as they come into our campus. If you're still unsure about what specialization you would like to pursue, you're welcome to head to our website. We have tons of resources, information, YouTube videos about different areas of specialization, or definitely check out some of the student clubs today or the student experience panel. It is great to hear from a student that's in the program already about what specialization they're doing. So as we jump right into registration, this slide here is just showing our academic advising webpage. So this is a page that you really are going to want to save, because this is something that you're going to be referring to now as you get into registration, before you start, and then throughout the rest of your degree. The 3 tabs at the top I highlight are registration. There's tips on registration in there. Advising sheet. So this one's really important. This one shows you basically all of the courses that you need to take within our degree for your 4 years that you're here, or 3 years that you're here, however long you intend to be here for. And then the last one is course planning. So this goes over our minors, our options, our humanities elective, the second year placement. All of that is kind of embedded within those top 3 tabs that you see there. So that main advising webpage is soeadvising.ok.ubc.ca. This next page I'm going to show you is our student services webpage. So it's students.ok.ubc.ca. And I'm showing you this because every student that is a UBC student has something called a student service center. So every student needs to log into the student service center in order to access your registration, to access your grades, your finance. It all lives there. So if you head to this webpage and you go to the top right corner, you'll find that in the drop-down menu, and you can log into your SSC. That's what we like to call it. Then once you log into your SSC, this is what it looks like. So essentially, this is the interface that you'll see when you get in there. And really what I want to cover on a high level right now is just your course schedule. So when you've decided that you've accepted your offer, you've received the offer and you've accepted it, and you're a student here and you're thinking about registration, this is where you're going to check out to see where all of your courses live. So you'll see on that top tab, registration, there's the course schedule there. And of course, that arrow at the bottom is just showing that we have lots of resources for help. There's FAQs, there's YouTube videos, there's blogs, so you can check out that information below. Once you click on that course schedule, it's going to bring you to this next page, and this is the last page I'm covering for registration. It's really fast and really short, but you'll get to this page, and this is when you're going to start to want to filter through the courses that you're choosing. And sometimes it might be a bit confusing because you're seeing courses that don't necessarily apply to you, and that just means that you haven't filtered it right in that top right corner. So it just means that you need to make sure you're filtering it by the right campus, which is the Okanagan campus, and you need to filter it right by the right session, which will be 2023 winter. This is not published yet, the 2023 winter schedule, so you can't go on there right now and see it, but it will be published in the next little while, within a month or two. So once it's published, you can kind of see all of the courses that we're offering in the winter. So that was a really quick blurb on registration, and you'll receive lots of instructions about registration. You can always chat with an advisor. The next part I wanted to talk to you about was transfer credit. So this is the trickiest part for any transfer student that's coming to UBC, is how do I receive transfer credits? So your credits are assessed at 2 different levels. So admissions assesses your transfer credits, and then so does the School of Engineering, our faculty, and they are quite separate processes. So admissions and School of Engineering are not the same. So what happens is all of your stuff comes through admissions first. So they assess all of your credit, and they'll either assess your credit, specific credit, or general credit. So specific credit essentially means, let's say you took a course at Capilano University, for example, and the course code was Math 100, and it will show that you got the course equivalency for Math 100 here. So it will show you specifically which course you took and how it matches with our course here with the course code. That's specific credit. The second is general credit. So students can get assessed at general credit, which means it might apply to a specific course or subject, like Math 115. So let's say you took Math 115 at Douglas, for example, you might get credit on our campus for Math First, which means it hasn't specifically been applied to a course, which means you need to do a little bit more of a deep dive into getting that credit transferred. So those kind of explains how admissions looks at your credits. When you go in, then you'll be able to see what you've received credit for. If you have courses that you feel like you should have gotten credit for, or they're not showing up and you don't receive credit for them, then what you do is you submit a transfer credit application form, which is that bottom blue link in the slide, which essentially brings you to a form where you can apply. Let's say you took a physics course and you want to apply for it to match an applied science course here, you would fill out that application. The main part of the transfer credit application form is that you need a course syllabus from the course that you took it at your institution. So if you don't have an electronic version or physical version that you can scan, you want to make sure that you go onto your main web page for that institution. So let's say it's Weninger, for example, you'll go on there, see if you can download the course syllabus, and if not, you need to reach out to someone there to for them to provide that to you. So again, it's a little bit confusing, but this is the 2 ways that you receive transfer credit, and an advisor will always be able to work with you to kind of assess all of the transfer credit you have and let you know what you're eligible for and what you're not. The last thing I wanted to mention is, and you'll receive emails about this, but as a transfer student, when you go to register, you will need advisors' help registering. It just has to do with our system doesn't automatically recognize transfer credits, even though we've told you you're receiving those transfer credits. So just keep that in mind when you're coming and registering in the summertime. So as we move on, I'll chat a little bit about humanities electives, because this is one thing that is confusing to some transfer students as well. So your humanities elective is a required one course, so 3 credits in your degree. Every engineering student needs it. So whether you're coming in from high school or you're a transfer student, you need a humanities elective. So some of you may have transfer credits eligible for your humanities elective. You can see here on our slide, we have arts and humanities and social science electives that you need to fulfill, and there are some exceptions to the courses. So not every single course outside of science or applied science can apply to your humanities elective. That webpage at the very bottom brings you to a link that shows all the approved subjects of humanities electives that we accept for our program. So some examples could be psychology, economics, anthropology, sociology. So there's a whole group of subjects that students can use humanities electives for. So if you feel like you've taken a humanities elective at your prior institution, you can apply for transfer credit through the transfer credit application. And if you have not, then you have to fit your humanities elective somewhere in your degree. Typically, we mention students take it in their second year, second term, but it's your most flexible course, and you really can take it at any time in your degree. So if you are unsure on if you have a humanities elective or you're not sure which one, you can head to that webpage, or you can always email our advising office, and I'll show that contact information at the end of this presentation. So my big tips about registration are plan ahead. So we recommend preparing multiple work lists prior to your registration date. So multiple work lists basically mean different schedules. So some of our lecture times are on different days. So maybe you create one schedule that has the Tuesday lectures and then one day that has the Wednesday lecture. And we do this and recommend this so that you're prepared in case one fills up, you have another option available to you. My biggest piece of advice is register as soon as possible. So that means your date and time for your registration will be emailed to you 2 weeks usually ahead of your registration. So for second year, if you're admitted into our program as a second year student, your registration will be July 4th. The specific time will be specific to you, and that will be on an email that you'll receive from UBC, and it will be within your SSC. I like to think of this time as registering for concert tickets. So Taylor Swift is performing, you want to get tickets, you need to be on at the exact time in order to open it, for it to open, because that way you'll be the most competitive and spots won't fill up as fast as possible. We are offering live registration and information sessions in June, so you can learn a little bit more there about course registration if you'd like. Next is our advising team. So you can see lots of faces here, and I really am just showing this to you to point out who you would be talking to, because as transfer students, you do need a lot of assistance when it comes to registering for courses. And a lot of course planning is going to go through our academic advising office. So the people that you see in the red box there are our main academic advisors that you would be talking to. And we show you this picture so that you know that we are real people and you can come talk to us. We have Samantha there on the bottom left, myself, Kyle, and Shpila, who is covering for Marie's mat leave. So Marie will be back in the summer as well. So these are the type of people that we get your emails, we help you register, and so you kind of know who we are. So how can you get in contact with us? The main email is soe.advising@ubc.ca. You're welcome to email it now if you haven't made your decision or if you haven't gotten an offer yet. We are here always to help any type of student that is looking to come to UBC or stay at UBC. The one thing we mention is make sure you include your student number if you have one in the email. We offer virtual and in-person drop-in advising. So our drop-in sessions are usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday afternoons from 1 to 4. They're over Zoom. And we also offer virtual and in-person advising appointments. So you can book an appointment once you have accepted your offer, you're a UBC student, you'll have a student number, and you can book with us through our PD portal, which is our online booking system. And that webpage, that link down at the below, just brings you back to our main webpage that shows the Zoom link for drop-in, it shows the PD portal link, it shows our schedule. So all that information is there on how you can connect with one of our advisors. The last thing I wanted to mention are there are a couple opportunities that you can add throughout your degree. So everything on this slide that you see is optional, which means you do not have to do it, but is there to enhance your degree if you're interested in these opportunities. So the first one I wanted to mention is applying for co-op. So students can apply for co-op going into their second year or going into their third year of study. Applications for co-op open in August. If you have more questions about co-op, I recommend going to the student experience panel. They'll have the most information about that for you, and I'm happy to help answer any questions at the end of this as well. We also offer minors and options. So we offer 3 minors, a minor in management, minor in arts, and a minor in computer science on our campus. All of the minors will add time to your degree, and you do have to apply for them. They are GPA based. We offer 5 options, so aerospace, biomedical, environmental, mechatronics, and really resilient infrastructure management. And an option, you're probably like, what's an option? An option is really just a subspecialty of your degree. So you can apply for it and it will give you some specific courses within those subject areas that are more specific, so that when you graduate on your transcript, it will show that you've taken, a variety of courses in aerospace, for example. So minors and options are competitive. They are GPA competitive. Applications for both of them open May 1st each year and close May 31st. So if for some reason you have not received an offer or you haven't accepted in time and it's June 1st, you have missed the application, but that's okay. You can apply next May. It stays open, and basically we open the minors and the options for students as they go throughout their degree. So if you don't get it in one year, you can apply the next year. If you have accepted your offer, then you're welcome to still apply in May, and you'll find out in June if you're accepted. We also offer study abroad opportunities, so coordinated international experience or Go Global, which is our exchange program. We have upper mentorship program, which students can apply for at the beginning of their second, third, and fourth year. So if you're interested in finding a mentor or being a mentor, this is a great program to check out. We also have a ton of clubs, a variety of clubs, and there's lots of clubs here at Hopin today at this event. So you're welcome to check out their clubs. We have design clubs such as motorsports, concrete toboggan. We have a women in engineering club. So it's a really great way, especially for transfer students and incoming second year students, to meet people, because you don't have such a big cohort like the incoming class from high school. So it's a really good way to socialize and broaden your professional opportunities. The last thing I'll mention is we have lots of opportunities to volunteer. So once you come to our campus, we send lots of emails about getting involved in outreach, recruitment events, events on campus, orientation events, all those types of things. So you have lots of opportunities to kind of connect with other people through volunteerism as well. Okay, so that was lots of information about our program. Now we'll talk about you and your next steps. So as we go on, I'm just highlighting a couple important dates for you. So the main ones being submitting documents and transcripts. So if you are a Canadian post-secondary applicant, then May 15th is when you're looking to submit your final transcripts. If you are an American applicant, your final transcripts are due June 30th. And if you're out of country, so outside of Canada or USA, your deadline to submit all your required documents will be May 31st. Now, I have that June 1st as accept your offer, but the deadline really to accept your offer is going to be included in your offer of admission letter, and you really should be referring to your admission letter for the exact offer acceptance deadline. So that kind of gives a baseline, that June 1st, but there are different offer deadlines depending on what your admission letter shows. And then again, we've already chatted about it a little bit earlier, but July 4th is when that second year registration opens. If you're a transfer student and you're coming into our program and you happen to be assessed as a year one student, so you have a couple transfer credits, but it doesn't qualify enough to be year two, then your registration is going to open on June 19th. So it's a little bit earlier than second year registration. So I wanted to make sure I outline that. But that link down there at the bottom, the you.ubc.ca, will show you all of those important dates as well. The last thing I wanted to mention is we have so many supports and resources on our campus. So as you can see in the top right corner, you're able to use the search function. This is our main students.ok.ubc.ca website. If you're an Indigenous student, you can click on the area that with the orange arrow that will give you access to advising services and other services for those students, as well as international students have their own separate advising and separate resources. And then as you can see from the rainbow of colors at the very top, there are lots of different ways to navigate through the beginning of your UBC journey. So new to UBC, there's a checklist. You can register for orientations. Academic success means you can chat with an advisor or visit our student learning hub. We have free student tutoring. We have supplemental learning. We have a learning strategist. So there's lots of supports for learning on our campus. We have student wellness, so there's a walk-in clinic. We have appointments with counselors, all free. You can check out campus life, so what kind of events are happening. Career and experience, you can explore career opportunities, apply for a campus job or improve your resume. And then we have lots of resources on applying for scholarships, registration, first year costs through that courses, money, and enrollment tab. And that about tab there is just being able to review all the resources that we just talked about, sign up for a blog, share a different concern, lots of information here. So lots of different areas of the website that you can kind of check out and a lot of resources available to students. Okay, so it was a really fast presentation on my part, but I just wanted to highlight these three main web pages here. So YOU webpage that we talked about already, our engineering.ok.ubc.ca is our main web page, which has lots of resources about the different disciplines, different programs, and then that advising webpage I mentioned, soeadvising.ok.ubc.ca. And I've put my email address there. You're welcome to reach out directly to me. My name is Tamara Weninger again, or you can email our soe.advising email address that I mentioned. Sometimes the SOE advising address will get you a quicker answer because I might be on vacation or I might be sick. So generally we tell students to go to that one, and it is the 4 main advisors that I showed you kind of monitor that inbox. I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming to this presentation, and thank you for your interest in UBC. Congratulations if you've received an offer already. And if you have any other questions for me, feel free to reach out via email. You can see my email there on the slide.